So good day everyone. We will be reporting about neuropsychological test. I'm with Daniel Palar as my partner in this report. First, let us tackle about the topic outline. First is the neuropsychological testing, neuropsychological assessment, other areas covered by neuropsychological testing, different types of tests, and neuropsychological test uses and neuropsychological test procedure. The intended learning outcome. So by the end of the discussion, you will able to first identify what is neuropsychological test, know the areas covered by neuropsychological testing, identify the different types of tests, and identify the neuropsychological test uses, and you can identify the procedures in neuropsychological. So let's move on to neuropsychological testing. So to first discuss about neuropsychological testing, let us discuss what is neuropsychology. So neuropsychology looks at how the health of brain affects your thinking skills and behavior. So in neuropsychological testing, it uses behavioral responses to test items in order to draw inferences about brain functioning. So it gives a broad picture of the brain's function. So the range from those that assess complex abilities such as judgment or planning to those that assess a relatively specific ability such as the ability to recognize faces. So in neuropsychological testing, these tests are usually done with a pencil or a paper in a doctor's office, but it also can be done in a computer, or a neuropsychologist may just ask you a series of questions that you answer orally. So to assess neuropsychological testing, we have the neuropsychological assessment. So it is also used to determine whether brain damage is contributing to psychological problems. It is determines the sorts of basic functions that the brain can do effectively, or can do with effort, or cannot perform. So neuropsychological assessment are frequently completed to provide additional information about a variety of development disorders. The most common referral questions concern medical disorders including genetic disorders, concussion, traumatic brain injury, recovery from cancer, brain tumors, and other neurologic concerns. Some other neuropsychological tests are Bender Visual Motor Gestalt Test to the Luria, Nebraska Neuropsychological Battery, and the Halstead Rayton Neuropsychological Battery. In Bender Visual Motor Gestalt Test 2, or the second edition, in here, it is a psychological test used by mental health practitioners that assesses visual motor functioning, developmental disorders, and neurological impairments in children ages 3 and older and adults. So in Luria, Nebraska, it was developed in attempt to combine the qualitative techniques of some neuropsychological tests with the quantitative techniques of others. So, however, the scoring system that most clinicians use is primarily quantitative. The battery measures specific neuropsychological functioning in several areas, including motor skills, language abilities, intellectual abilities, and other skills. So the Luria, Nebraska consists 14 tests to measure different abilities, and the Halstead consists 10 tests to measure different abilities. In neuropsychological testing, these are the areas covered by neuropsychological testing. So first is your ability to think, understand, learn, and remember. So this is the cognition. Next is the memory, the motor function, or walk or the coordination of the body. Next is the perception, or how will you take in what you see or read. Then next is the problem solving and decision making, and last is your verbal ability. So you may be given different type of test, including first test is the memory test. It is repeating of words, sentence, or numbers. Next is the cognition test. So in here, you will explain how two items are alike. So for example, or for instance, if you see a picture of a dog and a cat, you might answer that they are both animals and they are both pets. So in verbal cognition test, you will name some items as the person giving the test points at them. So you might also be given a letter of the alphabet and told to list words that start with that letter. Next is the motor test. This might include tasks such as um, inserting pegs into a pegboard using one hand and then the other. So you might also be given tests to see how your hearing and vision affect your thinking and memory. So this is the report. This is my report, and the next reporter will be Daniel Pollard, and she will discuss about the next two topics.